Hello everyone and welcome to Total War Age of Bronze. This is a Rome 2 Total War mod that brings the game into the Bronze Age during a period of, or a very interesting period in human history. Obviously, if you know anything about the Bronze Age, it focuses on kind of like the birthplace of civilization. So I don't know how many factions are in this game. Looks like there's quite a few. We have Knossos. We also have Babylon, Assyria, Elam, I believe, yes. Hittite, and Egypt. Now, I think there are more. There you go. Mitanni is also a faction, apparently. I don't know who these guys are, but this series will be a little different. Ooh, look at these guys. Ooh, I've never seen these guys. Achaean heavy swordsman, Achaean heavy spearman. Interesting, but this series is going to be a little different, and the reason is there's only custom battles in the game right now. There's no campaign. When there is a campaign, I'll probably play it, and I'll do a Let's Play of it, because this is a really interesting time in human history, and these powers are, biblical in some proportions. So, and they're all very interesting. But the way this little thing is going to work is I'm going to play custom battles between different factions, obviously, that are in the game. And I'm going to try and do their historic rivals, like Egypt and the Hittites and the Assyrians against the Babylonians, and the Hittites versus all that cool stuff. And I'm also going to give you a little bit of a history rundown on the faction itself. So to start it all off, I thought, let's do the faction that everyone knows from the Bronze Age probably pretty well, and it's really focused on more than others, and that is Egypt, the Egyptian Empire, if you will. Look at this. So, we have to make Egyptian Pharaoh's chariots. Ooh, could do that. But we're going to do shock infantry, clump infantry. I guess we'll do a chariot. So, of course, this game is still in beta, so mind it. But Egypt is focused on largely the most of Bronze Age cultures. So we're going to get some Egyptian shock infantry to accompany our pharaoh. Let's see, we have Egyptian shock spearmen and Egyptian spearmen. We'll get 4 units of Egyptian shock spearmen. Let's see what else we have here. We can get some Nubian bowmen. I think we're going to do that. We'll get 4 units of Nubian bows. Let's give 4 light chariots, and then the rest can just be filled by like other stuff. So let's get 2 of those and a spearman. There we go. Awesome. So the enemy we're going to fight the Hittites, who are probably the most mentioned of the Egyptian enemies during the height of its power. So we'll do the Hittites, some Hittite guardsmen for the general. Let's see, what do we got here? Some noble swordsmen, I think, will do it. Let's see, what else we got here? Medium swordsmen, Anatolian warriors. Sure, let's get some of those guys. Let's see, what do we got here? Some heavy spears, let's get 2 of those. Some Babylonian spearmen, yes. Let's get some archers, some chariots. Let's see, what else can we get here? Let's get a cool unit here. Let's see here. What haven't we got yet? So heavy axemen, Hittite guardsmen, provincial chariots. We only have 800 gold left. So let's get some more Babylonian spearmen. There you go. Kind of even it out. So I think their army is stronger than mine, but I have more chariots, hopefully. The map, obviously, we're gonna play a historic map here. All right, we're gonna play and fight where the Egyptians and Hittites probably fought, which is in this region. The Hittites and the Egyptians fought over this region of the Middle East, modern day Syria, Lebanon, and Israel, and a little bit of Jordan. So that fertile Levant, or back then I think it was called Canaan, I believe, or I think it was Canaan. But let's see here. We'll do commander and Hittite warrior. Sounds good. All right, let's do it. So, yeah, this will be fun. Since I found this mod, I've enjoyed it, and I'll leave a link in the description for it. You can actually just search it on the Steam store. It's literally, if you go to Rome 2, it's like the first mod or whatever. It's like the most popular one or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet, not gonna lie. So let's do a little bit of backstory on the Egyptian civilization. So the Egyptian civilization, most of you know it, ruled by a pharaoh. It coalesced around 3150 BC with the political unification of Upper and Lower Egypt. Under its first pharaoh, obviously. The pharaoh would come to be known as the god, basically. He's a god king. Whoop, there we go. I don't know why Steam does that. But he'll be, he's been known to be a god king. He's super powerful. His word is law, basically. And then he has his own, like, mortuary cult, basically, that is like the pharaoh's personal deity. So, depending on the pharaoh's personal deity and, all that good stuff. And let's do this guy in reserve, I guess. Sure. I don't know how this stratagem will work out here. But I'm going to set this up like a normal style army. Oh yeah, looks good. Looks real good. Chariots. Powerful chariots. Look at all the chariots.
Awaiting orders.
Oh yeah, we gotta hold that flank. Alright. So, let's move our army forward. There is the Hittite menace in the distance. I can see them. Look at our brave Egyptian soldiers here as we go forward to meet the enemy. So, Egypt is, when most people think Egypt, they either think of either Ramses the Great, who would be one of the pharaohs that would fight the Hittites, or you think of Cleopatra, who is at the end of the free, quote-unquote, Egyptian period, before it was, conquered by the Romans and, introduced as a Roman province. But there are three periods in Egypt that are considered its, most powerful, its most stable, and it's considered the age of the pharaohs. And as the Old Kingdom, which is the early Bronze Age, the very beginning of the Bronze Age, you have the Middle Kingdom, which of course is the middle of the Bronze Age. And both in the Old and Middle Kingdom, they're not really expanding Egypt's strength. They are either fighting civil wars and then coalescing and uniting Egypt proper, or just conquering like a little bit of the Levant. And the New Kingdom is what a lot of people think of, and that's the age of Ramses and the height of the Egyptian power. At the time, it rivaled the Hittites, obviously. It also rivaled the Assyrians and the Mitanni Empire for vie and for control of that region. Look at them, they're beautiful. So yeah, ancient Egypt has always fascinated me because unlike like the ages afterwards that were conquered by the Romans, the Egyptians were very unique in their philosophies and in their architecture and in everything. So they're a very interesting faction during this age. I don't think they're my favorite faction, though. I think my favorite faction would probably have to be the Assyrians, or the Assyrian Empire, just because they were crazy. Basically, they fought the Babylonians for years. They vied, or they fought with Babylon and vied for control of Mesopotamia. Later on, they would eclipse the Hittite Empire. But yeah, later on they would eclipse the Hittites. They would also conquer Egypt for a short time. They would conquer parts of Libya. Eventually, the Assyrian Empire became very, very powerful. But first, obviously, you have to pay homage to ancient Egypt, especially if you're talking about Bronze Age stuff. It's almost a given that you pay homage to Egypt. The Hittites are pretty cool, though. Look at these guys. Look at them. They're so cool looking. So I'll do another video where I play as the Hittites against the Sea Peoples, which were characteristically were the ancient enemy, quote unquote, of the Hittites. The Sea Peoples would actually like bring the Hittite Empire to its knees, but we'll get into that when I do the Hittite episode. For now, we talk about Egypt. So, Egypt would have a slow decline, right? It reached its pinnacle, as all empires do. They reach their pinnacle, and then it's never like a crashing fall with empires that are super powerful. It's always a slow decline to, you know, a slow descent into madness. And after it reached its pinnacle, it was conquered by foreign powers. First the Assyrians, then the Babylonians would conquer it. Afterwards, it would be conquered by the Persians, and then the Greeks under Alexander, and then the Romans. So you have a time period where Egypt is a province in another empire and isn't free at all. Much like, much of the Middle East at that point. It's either under the rule of one empire or another. So let's move my archers forward. Let's get on with this battle so you can see these guys in action. So what I like about this mod is Rome 2 combat, and I think Attila's too to a certain extent, are very like the units slam into each other and then like a unit routes almost immediately. If I remember correctly, that's how it was in Rome 2. It was, you know, you'd have 5 seconds of combat and then the unit would rout almost immediately. Which kind of really sucks. It really like made the game boring almost, where it was like, well, what's the point if they're just gonna run away? But this game, the units really get stuck in with each other, and it's like a long, grueling like slog. Alright, here they come. For Egypt, fire! So these are my Nubian bowmen. Oh yeah. Nice. Let's pull back behind our defensive wall here. Getting some good hits off early on. My chariots, my chariot wall on the side flank. Oh man, they're being cut apart. So here they come. Here come the Hittites. All across my lines. Sweep my chariots into the back. They're trying to get us with these chariots. Move the spearmen forward. So the first flank to be engaged is the left flank. The chariots swinging around behind. There you go, they're finally clashing with my army. Whoa.
For glory! My lord!
We're gonna have to throw in our reinforcements here.
Axeman! Charge!
So let's melee mode these guys. The chariot fight against.
The men are wavering.
Alright, I'll live.
Orders, my lord.
So what we do here, we swing these flanks in on them.
Move out. Double. For glory.
Take this unit.
Advance at speed. Chariots.
So
Forward!
now what we're gonna do is their general unit will just be run over by my chariots as they push forward.
Back.
Looks like they're starting to break. Certain lines are starting to break. It's not good.
We await.
We need to hold them.
orders.
Hittites are chewing us up. There you go. Nice big chariot charge.
Quickly now.
These chariots are stuck. Move them out of the way. Oh, here comes the chariots. Oh, it's devastating. Nice. My flank is broken through. Roll their flanks. Go, chariots, go. Go.
We understand.
Go.
Charge.
Go, chariots, go.
Orders, my lord.
Back with your chariots! Await!
Advance at speed. Back, men. Back.
No.
Orders.
Rally.
Rally to the banners. We await your orders.
So let's take our Nubians here. Let's kind of.
Fight your tactics!
Oh no. The flanks have collapsed. The left flank is collapsed. We'll have to hold them.
Back, withdraw.
Where's my emperor? Or my pharaoh?
Riders at the double. Advance at speed. Riders at the double.
My chariots are fighting to the death. Or they're running away somewhere. One or the other.
Back, men. Advance at speed. We are at your command. Engage.
Man, the Hittites mauled my army. Neither army is looking good at this point.
Forward.
Go. Pharaoh, chase them. Chase those archers.
For glory!
Charge. We die with our men.
Engage!
Chariots at the ready. Chariots.
Engage!
Archers. Our orders.
Oh, it's not looking good.
Back, men! Back!
It's not looking good.
Withdraw. We fight. Or we die.
It's not looking good at all.
Withdraw. Go back.
Oh no. Egypt. Well, it's a costly enemy victory. Look at the blood, the chaos, and the bodies that litter the field. Ah, so heartrending, so sad. We put up a good fight, though. We put up a good fight. So, that'll be it for my first episode here. I don't even know what I'm going to call this. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to call it. But I think the next episode we'll be playing as the Hittites. So, if you want to see more, tune in to see that. I'll have that up sometime next week, I want to say. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did and you want to see more, subscribe. You'll be notified as soon as that video goes live. And I would really appreciate it if you liked the video. Let me know. If you disliked the video, hey, let me know. I really, it's cool. I like it. And comment. Leave your comments on what you find interesting about the Bronze Age, if you find it interesting at all. I mean, there's a lot of interesting factions that vie for, or that fight each other during that era. So, that'll be it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, stay tuned.